What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Backpacking Podcast. And Jeremiah, you finally did it. You are in the dress.
That's right, baby. We're wearing the dress.
Dude, you got to see some of these comments. I haven't had a chance to go through all of them yet, but look at this. This is cracking me up. Pack Raft the World actually sent a note to us, sent an email, said, send a note asking for this morning. You guys know how to serve your fan base.
Yeah. I was getting ready for work. I seen that.
Tangent Trail said, this ought to be something. Where's my whiskey? I guess everybody's got to cope their own way. And then we've got Kentucky Backpacker. No way I was missing this episode. Let's see. We got Sean R saying he could have at least shaved. But we're trying to grow beards out, man. We don't want him to shave right now. Let's see. Carlson Adventures. He's currently putting on his lipstick. Did you put on lipstick?
No, I don't like the lipstick, but chapstick for sure.
Okay, that's fair. Jeff Peters, is this going to be the podcast first drag show? No. No. And then is Jeremiah doing makeup?
No, I don't have any makeup on.
No, but you look good, man. You look good. Now, I'm sure there's some people going, that just looks like some kind of like sleeveless shirt. So, Jeremiah, I guess we should show them what this actually looks like. Is that fair?
Yeah. Show them a full body shot. Yeah. Look at Golden Graham. He's won that toy.
Yeah. So this is legit, folks. This isn't made up. This is actually like the real deal Holyfield. Like he is wearing a dress now. He's wearing some interesting red sweatpants with it.
Yeah, those are my pajamas. I'm still wearing them right now.
I'm not sure what the pose is, but I mean, you know, I guess we can work with this. I think it looks pretty good, man.
Well, there's a story I want to tell behind this dress.
There's a story behind the dress.
Yeah, you want me to go ahead and tell it?
Oh, please do. Please. Oh, and for the people who are not online right now watching and you're listening instead, Jeremiah is wearing a full black dress that is sleeveless. It's almost kind of a nightgown. It's like he's getting ready to go out for a big Christmas party or something.
Look at that. Can you see that? Can you see the V-neck?
It's also deep cut. So
it's deep cut.
Man,
I told Bridget I'm showing all kinds of cleavage. She said, "You're not showing any cleavage."
It's the hairiest cleavage I've ever seen in my life.
Oh man!
So Jeremiah, is that dress ultralight?
This dress is actually kind of heavy. It's real warm too. Yeah, I had to turn the temperature down in this room because I was like, I'm going to be sweating sitting here. Got this light in front of me. That's warm. This dress is really warm. Got my pajama pants on. I'm Christmas ready, dude. You want to hear my story behind the dress?
Oh, please do. Please tell us the story.
I'll make it quick. One time we were budget shopping for Halloween costumes, and I decided to be, I don't remember what, it was like a ninja or a warrior, or I kind of feel like a Mortal Kombat character on with this dress on. You know, I looked at it as like a, you know, masculine guy, like kind of like Scorpion or one of those characters from Mortal Kombat. I don't know if you can see it, but
we'll go with it.
We went to Goodwill and we're trying to figure out our costumes. And this was the dress that I bought at Goodwill. And I don't think I ever wore it for the costume. This might actually be the second time I've ever had it on. Not very often I break out the old dress.
Yeah, I can't say that I've done that often myself. But you know what's great about you wearing this dress right now?
What's that?
And this may be the first time ever that we have thanked our sponsor, Outdoor Beards, for sponsoring an episode while one of us is wearing a dress with a beard. So, Jeremiah, I want to say a huge thank you to Outdoor Beards, man. I don't know about you, but they've been our sponsors for a long time. This is our last episode of 2023, which means this is our last sponsored episode of Outdoor Beards for 2023. And it's just in time to get your stuff before Christmas.
Yes, this is the last live stream. It's not the last podcast episode.
Right.
So make sure you're still tuning in every Wednesday, 6 a.m. or after Eastern time, and check out the episode. But yeah, Outdoor Beards for real, dude. Look at my beard. Look at it coming in thick. I was just telling Bridget this morning.
Yeah, you're getting it back, man. You're getting it back.
Yeah, that's because I use outdoor beard balm every morning before I go to work. Just style it up a little bit. So if you want a beautiful beard like John Kelly or I, make sure you go to outdoorbeards.com, get some of their balm, get some of their oil, get some of their soap, maybe a little holiday gift. That might be in order
Yeah.
for yourself or your husband or whoever.
And
Anybody
and
with the beard, they can
and
even
not
wear a
only that,
dress.
but if you use the code backpacking, you also get 10% off your first order.
That's right. And speaking of people in dresses with beards, I used to date this girl and her mom had a beard. Did I ever tell you that? Why are you just looking at me?
So thank you to Outdoor Beards for sponsoring this episode. If you would like to check them out, go to outdoorbeards.com to find out more. Wow,
Um,
they may stop supporting us after that.
no, she would have had an even thicker beard if she had to use the Outdoor Beards product. She wouldn't have had
She
all the
would.
breakage.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. She probably would. Jeremiah, you're probably thinking to yourself, I'm wearing a dress and John has Yoda ears and a Star Wars Santa hat. Um,
Yeah.
it is Christmas time, man. It's officially Christmas time.
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
dressed for the party and I'm dressed for the good party. And so I got a question for you, man. I actually have a question for everybody who's listening and watching right now, and that is simply, what piece of gear do you want this year for Christmas? Go ahead and put those in the comments. We'd love to hear what those are. Jeremiah, have you had a chance to think about that? Like what gear you'd
Yeah.
like to get this year?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I keep a running list of the gear that I want, and then I'll save up some, for something big to ask for Christmas.
Oh
But
yeah.
I think what would be really nice is if Bridget and I had an air mattress that we could sleep together on, a backpacking air mattress. I have seen Devin on his channel talk about one of these, like the double mattresses, but I'm not sold on it. I kind of feel like I have to go to REI and try it out, which actually I hear Lexington is getting an REI. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah,
So,
there's been a rumor about it for a while, but nobody knows exactly when or where.
well, I may have some friends in construction, and some of them may have, I don't want to say too much. Maybe one of them has a bid on it or a contract or something. I don't know. I'm just
Oh.
saying. So hopefully soon, kind of around in your area, about an hour, hour and a half away from me. But yeah, I would either like probably that air mattress, or I'm looking at my list here. What would be really awesome is a new hammock. But
Yeah.
not, just to be honest with you, I've been too lazy to Google and see if there is a legitimate business that would make a good 12-foot hammock.
Mm.
So if it,
Actually, Jeremiah,
uh-huh.
it's funny that you say that because one of my things was a hammock. And so I guess I should pull this up and show this to you because this will probably make you happy.
Oh, what is it?
It's my good friends over at Dream Hammock. Now, this thing just got huge, and I don't know how it just did that. It was plenty small earlier. Now it's all of a sudden full screen. I don't know what just happened. Do you know what just happened?
No, did you try
Oh,
zooming
there we
out?
go. We're in better shape now. That was really odd. Okay. So they make custom hammocks.
Oh,
And
okay.
Jeremiah, I want you to look down here. Length 12 feet.
No way. I was just about to crowdsource this. Look at you.
Yep. I was actually looking at these tonight because I'm looking at wanting to get a sparrow. I would really like to get a sparrow. I had a Darien and I love it, but it only unzips on one side. And so I'm kind of looking for something that can unzip on both sides. And the sparrow is a very good hammock. So I was actually going through and working on it, actually, kind of working on the colors and all that stuff. So, of course, I'm going to go with red because it's what I do. Um, I went with a right lay on mine, but I'm gonna switch that to left because that's actually what I like to do. And then you can add an overcover, continuous loops. You can pick all these different things like your suspension colors, ridgeline colors, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So needless to say, I mean that when this thing's said and done, it's probably gonna be way out of my price range. But you know,
I was
right now
wanting
it's
to
at
talk to
three
you
hundred
about.
and $6.
So, is an extra $50 if you do the 12-foot? Is that what that means?
Yes.
Okay. And then the Sparrow unzips on both sides. Do you mind if I see a picture of that?
If I can find one. I'm not sure
Okay.
what it doesn't really say which one's this picture is. Let me see. Let's do this right here. Let's go to the store and see if they've got any ready to ship sparrows.
Yeah, because I'm curious to see what it looks like. I feel
Mm,
like
see
Jason tricked me
those.
into sleeping in a 10-foot hammock one time, and
Yes, he
I
did.
thought maybe it was a sparrow,
That was a
but
dirty
maybe it
move when he did that to you.
was a
I don't
dirty
see any
trick.
pictures of the sparrows. Let's go to past projects. Maybe we can find a picture of a sparrow in here. Oh, here's a sparrow.
Okay, yeah. See if you can zoom in there a little bit. Get a closer look. Okay, so it comes with a bug net. That looks like it's got like the winter top on it.
Yeah, you can put an overcover on it.
Okay.
It's got a removable overcover.
Yeah, I guess that keep you a little warmer, but I think you get some condensation in there.
Yeah, but you know, it does have some openings so that it's not completely closed off, which will probably help a ton.
That's true. That's true. So it
So,
unzips on both sides, so you can have your pee side and your clean side, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Now we're getting a lot of comments on here right now.
Oh,
So let me
maybe it'd be
see.
some. You think it's gear that I could put on my Christmas list?
Um, possibly, possibly. There's some really good ones in here too, man. Um, oh
This is
wow,
Dream
there's one.
Hammock,
There's
right?
one I'd like to get. Yeah, Carlson Adventure says he actually has a sparrow. So
Okay. Will you
which
make
is
us
pretty
big
cool.
again?
Yeah.
So the
What's this?
Sparrow, yeah, I feel like maybe that's the one that Jason had, and it like split in the bottom, and he fell through it. Of course, he had used it like 1,000 times,
Oh
like
yeah, he wore it
five
out.
thousand times.
Yeah, he wasn't paying attention to what the fabric was starting to look like. So
Yeah, because once those
yeah.
start fraying, you get a hole in it, and you can fall through. There's really no going back. I
Oh, I
mean, you could be
know.
sleeping on
I
the ground.
know. Jeremiah, I'll give you another thing I'd really like to get my hands on.
Yeah,
And
what
that
is it?
is this top quilt from Western Mountaineering. Everybody talks about Western Mountaineering, right?
Yeah,
Talk
I
about
have.
this great company, Western Mountaineering. And I
I
think they're
took
pretty
one.
cool. You know, I think they're a cool company from what I hear. But this is a 36 or a 38-degree quilt that
Uh-huh.
weighs 14.8 ounces.
Yeah, but I don't know. Let me tell you, dude, we were going to talk a little bit about our trip when we had Jason on here last week, but we spent the whole time talking about poop and just laughing and swapping stories.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you, I took a Western Mountaineering 28-degree quilt on my last trip with a sleeping bag liner, and I was still kind of cold, and I was sleeping on the
Really?
Nemo Tensor Alpine. Yeah, so it's definitely
Really?
it got down to like probably 32, 33, somewhere in there. So it's definitely not comfort rated, in my opinion.
Interesting.
And
Interesting,
it's
because
really,
they're pretty people brag on them all the time for the fact that they are comfort rated, so that's interesting.
I don't know. That's just my anecdotal experience.
Nice. Well, you know,
Yeah.
one way you can help with that temperature issue
What's it?
is to pick up another piece of gear that I really wanna get my hands on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The,
What?
Tensor Extreme Conditions. Have you heard about this new one?
Oh, what is this? Is this a
Okay.
marketing ploy?
No, get this. This is awesome. Are you ready for this? Let me go down to the specs for this thing. Okay, I'm gonna make this bigger so everybody can see it.
Okay.
Okay? The weight for this thing is 1 pound 6 ounces, and it's got an 8.5 R rating.
No way. Is it 3.5 inches thick?
Yes, 3.5 inches thick.
Okay. Here's another one for my Christmas list. How much
Right?
is this thing? $300?
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to sell your left leg. No, I don't think it's that expensive. I think it's let's go up here to the top and see what it says.
Oh,
It
say 300.
is 259.95. So it's about the same price as a lot of the other ones.
Boy, they went up.
Yeah, but
How much
man,
is
is
the
that
long
is that
wide?
not sweet?
Yeah, what's the price on that long wide?
Long wide, just $20 more.
Just
Yeah,
$20 more.
but wait for this. This is being a good part that gets you excited though. Are you ready for this?
All right.
It was 1 pound 6 ounces for the regular wide, right?
Uh-huh.
It's only 1 pound 7 ounces for the long
Wow.
wide.
Can we
So
compare that to the
that's
specs?
24 ounces.
Can we compare that to the specs of the Nemo Tensor Alpine?
Yeah, give me a second here and I was actually looking at the other one here cuz I was interested in that one. Let me go here. This is kind of fun. Let's see what we got. Sleeping pads, and you said the Alpine?
Yeah, the Nemo Tensor Alpine long, because I don't
Okay.
think it came in a long wide whenever I bought it.
They've got a long
It's
wide, so I'll put
long
it on
wide,
long
okay.
wide right now because that's what they have. They don't have
Yeah, well,
the
it
other
may
thing.
be a long
So
line. I think it's 25 inches wide.
1 pound, it's 1 ounce more,
It weighs 1 ounce more?
and it's a 4.8 R value as opposed to, it was an 8.5.
What? I bet that's why I was cold because my sleeping pad was only an R value. This is the Alpine version?
Yeah,
What's the regular version?
3.5, I think.
Well, I didn't get much up in R value, but I probably didn't pay that much more for I really wanted the X Therm because I wanted that high R value. But if you're telling me that Nemo come out with this, I love Nemo's products.
I do too. I do too. Oh,
Man,
and
I'm telling you.
Unlikely Hiker just posted on here. She has the Tensor EC, but she still hasn't gotten it out in super cold weather. She didn't pay that much for it.
I'm telling you right now, Nemo is missing the market not sponsoring this podcast because I would love free Nemo gear.
Oh, I know, man. They need to sponsor us. It's
I
just got to
know.
happen.
Yeah.
Got to happen.
I want to
We
be
got
selfish.
Bushcraft Boy in here, and I think he's trying to get on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this be seen. Best podcast ever.
Oh, I like to see that.
Could we say best comment ever?
Comment of the day.
Comment of the day right there. So, and look at this. This is Terry Young says the Alpine R rating is plenty good for me any colder, and I'm staying home. Isn't Terry from Alabama or Georgia or something? Is that where you from, Terry? Because I think he's from the South.
Terry's southern like me, then well, I guess further south, maybe don't go out in as cold the temperatures. But it's been
Maybe.
pretty cold. That trip I was on, if it's windy and it's around freezing, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah. Well, some of you guys have been commenting on the things that you want. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these.
Yeah.
We did have one more comment about you, Jeremiah. I wouldn't admit I've worn it more than once. Talking about your dress.
I was a ninja last time.
So
This time
okay,
I'm
here
just
we go. You're gonna love this.
okay.
Thermarest Topo Lux Sleeping Pad and Z-Packs Arc Haul Ultra.
Oh, that sounds expensive.
I can speak on behalf of the Arc Haul Ultra. That is a killer backpack. I
What's
love
the
that backpack.
what's the ultra part? Why they call it
That's
the
the
ultra?
fabric. The fabric's ultra fabric.
Oh, okay.
Although, did you hear about the new fabric they're using in the new Durston backpack?
No, I didn't hear anything about it.
Oh man, I'm gonna see if I can find that real quick and share that with you guys because that stuff is awesome. I was talking to Ben McMillan about it the other day. He hadn't heard about it yet, so I actually introduced him to a fabric. So you may be all thanking me sometime in the near future for that. Let me see if I can find it real quick because this is really, really cool.
I'm Googling this Topo Lux sleeping pad. I never even heard of that. Looks like it's
Okay.
$190 at REI right now.
Yep. Okay, so here's this fabric. It's called Graphite. Okay. You see that on there?
Waterproof? Is that what they're showing me?
It's waterproof, and it's supposed to, and something having to do with the way that they fuse the fabric together with polyester or whatever it is. Like
Mhm.
something about it, it doesn't delaminate, which is kind of a big issue for backpacking fabrics. They tend to delaminate over time, and this one's not supposed to be able to. And so the strength to weight ratio is supposed to be just as high or higher than ultra fabric. And it's even lighter than ultra fabric.
So
So,
does it cost more?
well, probably. I mean, we are talking about backpacking gear. So,
Yep.
but
I
it's pretty sweet.
I looked up the Thermarest one. He was talking about it's 4 inches thick. The R value's in the threes. It's a 3.7, but 4 inches thick. I never had a pad that was that thick.
And
That sounds pretty nice.
sounds super
That's,
cush, that's for sure.
that's the extra large though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it looks like the Bushcraft Boy would like to have an axe for Christmas this year.
Dude, they come in handy if you're wanting to have a fire for sure.
Oh, yeah, you could tell who's Bushcraft.
Yeah.
Bushcraft boys are gonna have axes. Unlikely Hiker said flip fuel.
What's flip fuel?
Isn't that the thing which you put on two cans, like to fill one fuel can from the other? Isn't that what that is?
What? Are you talking about the adapter you can buy?
Yeah, I think it's called the flip fuel. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know. I bought one on Amazon that was called G-Works. I'm not sure about the Flip Fuel. I've never heard of that. But I
I'm
know
pretty
she's
sure
up
that's what it
north.
is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, man. We're getting a lot of comments today, so it's man,
It's
there's a
hard to keep
lot of
up.
comments. This is crazy. So, Terry Young is from Alabama. He did say that. So, he's probably one of those bad fans that thinks that Alabama should be in the playoffs. Okay, so
Oh.
let's keep going. Um, had to get one in. Just had to get one.
That's funny. Poor Chad.
Um, Kentucky Backpacker said he already got his. He got an Enlightened Equipment 20-degree quilt. I've got one of
Oh,
those Enigma quilts. I used it for years. It's fantastic. So that's a good one. Pack Raft the World. It's time for a new tent. Duplex needs replacement. So I wonder what he's going to go with.
wow. I wonder how many times it takes using the duplex before they wear out, because that Dyneema is pretty durable.
It is. It is. I mean, I'm a big fan of the X Mid Pro 2, which is actually what Everyday Backpacker says they want. And I'll tell you, you can't go wrong with it. It's a fantastic tent. I don't even like tents.
What's the material it's made out of?
It's made out of Dyneema.
Do you use a ground sheet with it?
I always use a ground sheet because I'm paranoid.
Yeah, I a lot of times I don't use a ground sheet with the Duplex L, but I
Yeah.
always feel around on the ground like before I get in the tent and make sure there's nothing under there, but you never know.
I'm always afraid I'm just not going to pay attention and miss something, and then I'm going to poke a hole right in the bottom of it. I'm always afraid of that. It's paranoia on my part.
Well,
It's
it's
the only
healthy
thing.
paranoia.
It's the only fear I pack when I go backpacking.
Well, it's weightless
It,
except for the ground sheet part.
yeah, the ground sheet part's not weightless, but yeah. So he definitely is wanting an X Mid Pro. That's a great tent. Riff Outdoors once more time.
Yeah, don't we all?
And wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Uh, I don't even know if I should try to Umayar. We're gonna say Umayar. Does that sound good?
That's what it says.
All right. What I want is a good light 10-degree underquilt, but I'm not reasonably expecting one. LOL.
Yeah, that sounds expensive too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've got a 0-degree from UGQ. I've had it for a couple years. That thing is awesome.
Unbeatable. And I would suggest once you start getting down to those really low temperatures, go with the highest fill power, even though it costs more. I'd save
Yeah.
up the money and do it if you're wanting the light, because to me it's worth it. You know, it might cost extra $100, but if you have the money or you can save it up, I definitely would.
Yeah. I agree. Jeff Peters wants pizza from the Pizza Ninja.
You see,
If you're listening and you're wondering who the Pizza Ninja is one of our subscribers, viewers.
yeah,
He's always
regular.
on here leaving funny comments. So, oh, here's some good ones. I wanted the insulated seat cover for the Big Agnes Skyline UL chair for about 30 seconds, and then I bought it for myself. Wait a second. There's an
Insulated seat
insulated
cover.
cover for that? I've been using an
Mm.
REI one that barely fits my chair and keeps falling off.
Is it like an underquilt, but for your
Kind
seat?
of. Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's legit.
Oh.
I would love one of those for my big sunset chair.
Loafer X just I think you just put a new item on my list for this year.
Send that one to the wifey.
Yeah. Hey babe, wanna give me this thing? Terry Young Outdoors wants a Mercedes Sprinter 4x4 van to haul his gear in. He doesn't ask for much.
Yeah, yeah, driving around Bama.
Dang. Mark Hemming says he wants a Z-Packs 20-degree zip around sleeping bag. Would round out his UL setup quite well if you're listening, Santa.
Come on, Santa.
Come on, Santa, come through. And then Unlikely Hiker. Well, we already read this one. It was the one about the Tensor EC. That she's got one, and she hasn't really had a chance to test it in the cold, but she'll be able to because of where she lives. So, oh hey, I feel good right now. She actually just posted, I use a ground sheet with my X Mid Pro.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Just adds a little extra weight.
Yeah. Oh, and then who is this? Mark Hemming actually left a really good comment. He said, Jeremiah, money is no object when it comes to weight when you get old.
Yeah, so I
So
hear.
put that up
I
here so everybody can
get
see that.
older, so I've made more money in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still
All
waiting
right.
on it.
Jeremiah, the dress was the first part of the payment you had for not having any kind of merch at this point. The other half of this was you needed to read publicly an apology letter to your fans. So, would you like to take a moment right now and apologize for the lack of gear that you have?
Yes. Yes, I will.
Beautiful.
I have a written apology here.
Make me feel it.
Okay.
I want some emotion.
To those I hurt, I, Jeremiah Stringer, would like to formally apologize for not creating and releasing exclusive merch for those loyal supporters out there.
Mm, mm.
I would also like to take this time to thank Jeff Garmeyer for inspiring me to wear this dress on the podcast and hold me accountable.
Yes.
Thank you to all the people out there who continue to support me. And don't get your hopes up because I'll probably disappoint you by leaving you merchless. With love, Jeremiah.
I was expecting to be a little more emotional at the end. I was
Well,
I was expecting you to say something as I write this with tears flowing from my eyes over the guilt that I'm feeling for letting so many down.
well, I needed a
I
good
sincerely
ghostwriter.
apologize.
If I had known, I would have let you ghostwrite it, man.
Oh, if I ghost wrote it, it would have been over. Like, we just can't do that. Like, it needs to come from your heart. And so, as we can see, your heart is jet black. So,
Just like my dress.
just like your dress.
What can I say?
Oh
Oh,
my goodness. So, Jeremiah, let's talk a little bit more about some things tonight. We had a list of stuff we were kind of interested in talking about. Um, you got a new camera? Did I read that right?
no, what I got was this.
Is it a new iPhone?
Yeah, I got dude, I don't even think I told you.
You didn't.
Bridget and I had iPhone 11s, okay? And I said, you know, I'm going to invest in myself because my trip videos, a lot of times I shot them on the iPhone, and the iPhone 11, it doesn't look very good. You know, it looks okay, but technology's come quite a ways. So I said, I'm going to go from the regular iPhone 11 and treat myself. So I got the iPhone Pro Max, the 15.
Ooh,
Yeah,
fancy.
I traded my iPhone 11 in. Let me tell you this, dude, how frustrating. So there's a guy that I went in and talked to at AT&T, and I said, if I trade in my old phone, how much money will I get as a credit toward the iPhone, the new iPhone? He
Right.
said $830. I said, well, sign me up, man. $830 because this iPhone 11 has been through it, dude. Took,
What?
took this. I mean, I
You
took
got an
that thing in chemo.
$830 credit from an 11?
So I thought. So the time comes, Bridget
Right.
goes to trade her phone in. She had an iPhone 11. I had an iPhone 11. I bought the iPhone Pro Max. The only thing really you're getting with the Pro Max, the biggest thing is the camera, which is what I wanted.
Right.
And she was like, I don't care. You know, she's just your average consumer. So I said, well, I'll get you the Pro. You know, we've never had anything above the base grade of phones since we started buying phones for ourselves as
Right.
teenagers. So hers comes in after like 2 weeks. Mine takes like 2 months. And yeah, I know, dude. It was crazy. So anyway,
Maybe they were holding out to see if you'd come out with merch before they delivered it.
that could be it. Well, she goes to trade her phone in, and the guy's like, I can only give you like $250 for this.
Oh,
And I was
I was
like,
gonna
what?
say,
And I was like, Bridget, she didn't even think about it. She just came home, and I got a text message saying you got like a $250 credit on your bill, and I was the one that ordered the phones. You know, I just asked her what color she wanted, basically,
right,
and I'm like, I saw, and I was like, you need to talk to him because it's supposed to be $830 credit. I'm losing the money here. So she goes back and talks to him, and he's like, well, you could replace the screen and then you can bring it back in and we'll give you the $830. So we we took it
Was
to
your
a shop.
screen all scratched up or?
Yeah, hers I think had some pretty deep scratches.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So she replaced the screen. I think it was like $100, $110 out the door, something like that. Take it back. They give us the credit. I'm like, okay, well, I sacrificed $100, but I still got the full 830. Well, you also have to wait 60 days before that credit kicks in. So your phone bill basically doubles. And because you're paying for the iPhone if you don't just buy it outright. And then mine finally comes in. Same thing happens to me. I have to go get the screen replaced on my phone and then trade it into them. And then now I have it and I've been using it in the woods. I think I sent you a clip that I wanted to
Yeah.
show.
You wanna
And you
bring up
tell
that.
me, yeah, you tell me if this phone, the quality is high enough. I know they say the best camera to shoot a video on is the one you have available. So if
Right.
this is all you got, then this is probably the best. But you play this video and you tell me if you think that it's good enough for, doing trip videos.
All right, let's check it out. Yeah, dude, that's pretty good.
That's what I thought. The zoom.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. That that's
So
that's pretty nice.
I don't know if it's worth the money for the iPhone Pro Max. Jason said that it's the last phone he had, but it was just the phone was too big. It wouldn't like fit in his spots in his truck.
Yeah. I ended up
So,
going I got the iPhone Pro Max when it first came out the first time they had it. And
uh,
after that I got the iPhone Pro, and that was a few years ago. So I'm getting ready to actually get an iPhone Pro, a new iPhone Pro, the 15. So it's the same
dude,
camera that you've got on the Pro Max. It's just a smaller camera,
well, I was with
or smaller phone, I should say.
yeah, it's like I can't remember how many inches it is, but it's slightly smaller. I was backpacking with Jason and those California guys he was talking about, one of those that might have stole his cat hole. So
Right, right. One of those guys. One of those guys. Yeah, yeah,
one of those guys. One
yeah,
of those guys
yeah,
had like a Google Pixel or something. And dude, I may have already told you this, but he zoomed in. We could see Double Arch from our camp, like an overlook near our camp,
yeah,
probably around the same area that Jason could see, his view from his poop spot.
yeah.
He zoomed in on his camera and dude, you could see, I mean, this was hundreds of yards and you could like see the people walking around, see the color of their shirts. It was incredible. Like
Oh wow.
iPhone's pretty legit, but some of those Androids, dude, their camera is like the quality's twice as good. I don't know how they do it.
Well, they figure if they skimp on the operating system, then they can put more money into the camera.
Oh,
So
are you starting a war here? Are you
I'm
starting a
just,
war in the
you
comments
know me. I gotta push those buttons, man. I gotta push those buttons. Well, I'm sure the comments are coming soon.
section?
I'm sure they're coming soon. Uh, so, so you got that. Have you done any trip videos, like actual trip videos with the camera yet?
Yeah, I think I filmed a couple of videos actually with it. I can't remember right off. I think I've had it for about a month. And like I was talking about a couple weeks ago, I've been working really hard on like putting out a lot of videos. I think, yeah, I definitely shot one a couple of weeks ago where Bridget and we were backpacking together. Yeah. I
And it
think
came out
it's,
pretty good.
I think it's pretty good, man. Yeah.
Nice.
If I say
I
so myself.
I don't see a lot of comments. I was asking we were looking at that fabric earlier, and I was seeing if anybody had really heard about it, and there's not a bunch of I don't see any comments. Um, because you know me, I'm a dork, man. I love looking into like the different fabrics and this just the technical stuff behind gear. That graphite stuff, man. Uh,
Yeah.
the Durston Gear has a brand new backpack, and that thing, I think it weighs like 17 ounces, and it's a 35-liter pack.
Is it
Maybe it's a little bit
frameless?
less than that. No, no, I take it back. I think it's as light as 12 ounces. Can you imagine
12
that?
ounces. There's no way it has a frame then.
It doesn't have a frame. It's frameless, but 12 ounces, even if you put a frame in there, you could still have like a 15-ounce backpack.
Yeah, that's totally incredible.
I mean, it's unreal, man. I mean, it's a 35, I think it's a 35-liter backpack. So, I mean, it's truly, truly an ultralight backpack.
Dude,
So,
with the size of my gear, just where I'm like 6'2", 6'3", I don't think that I can fit all my insulation layers and my, like, shelter system and all that with a 35 liter. I just don't see how it's possible because I tried to do ultralight on this last trip, and I took a 45 liter, and, I mean, like I said, I was a little bit cold, at about 4 or 5 a.m. whenever those temperatures hit the lowest.
right.
Yeah, so and that's the last thing I want, man. Wake up at 5 a.m. sleeping on a tent floor, cold,
Yeah.
all backpacking.
Yeah.
So I just don't know how I could squeeze it anymore with the 35 liter. Have you ever taken a backpack besides like summertime, maybe?
Yeah, I actually, the, uh the Waymark Mile, it's like a 28 liter. I
You
actually
did
used that for a
not.
trip one time. Yeah.
No, how did you fit? There's no way you had an underquilt and sleeping bag and
Well,
everything.
it was summer, so I didn't need an insulated jacket
Yeah.
because the coldest it got at night was like 70. Um, and then, let's see, the I took a Dyneema tarp for my hammock. My underquilt was just, I don't even think it weighed more than like 10 ounces, and my top quilt was like 12 or 13 ounces. So, I mean, I was able to put everything in that pack for, I think it was 2 nights. I think it was out for 2 nights when I did it.
Well, I don't think
Now,
that I could do
If you're
that.
Miyagi, you could put in a frying pan, a surgical table, 3 pairs of hiking boots. I don't know how he have you go hiking with him and he brings these little tiny backpacks, but he's got so much stuff inside it. Am I wrong?
Dude, something I just don't understand. I just do not get it. I'll go backpacking with people and their backpack will be lighter and they'll if I feel like they have more gear than me, more food, and like more like stuff to cook with. Like it'll be
Exactly.
real food. Yeah, I just don't understand how it's like there's a black hole in their backpack and mine is just like, collecting mass.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. When I went to Pictured Rocks with Miyagi and all those guys, I don't know where he had all kinds of stuff in there. He was making these, like, flatbread pizza things
Oh, yeah, I seen
in a
he
skillet.
like yeah, but where did he get the oil? He brought a whole
He
thing of oil?
Yeah, he brought a thing of oil with him. I don't
Well,
know,
I
man.
mean,
I don't know how he pulled it off. Like, I'm telling you, Miyagi is like a magician of sorts. Has to be. He's gotta have some kind of, like, black magic he uses to get all that stuff in his backpack.
I'll
But
tell you this.
all of that to say, I'm really interested in this new fabric because I want to see what new stuff comes out. I really want to see, and I've never heard of the company before. It's called Alula, I think. Is that the name of it? Yeah, it's Alula, Aluula.
But there's no prices for any of it?
I mean, I'm sure there's prices for like vendors.
Yeah, but nobody's making backpacks out of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Durston Gear is.
Well, how much is it?
Let's find out. That's the great thing about having the internet right here at our fingertips.
I know, dude.
Uh,
Imagine it's 1985.
It is the Wapta 30 is what it's called. The Wapta 30 is $280.
$280?
Yes. And if you're to get the medium torso size with the medium belt, let me see if I can find the weight and all that kind of stuff. The minimum weight is 12.8 ounces.
What's that mean? Does that mean you're cutting off loops and stuff? Because I cannot stand that.
No, I mean, they have removable items.
Hmm.
So they've
Well,
got a
not
hip
as
belt. You don't have to have a hip belt. You know, some people don't even use a hip belt when they backpack.
no,
So you can
especially
take the hip
for
belt off. It's 3.7 ounces for the medium. And then the sternum strap is a half an ounce. So that barely counts.
I think I went and my backpack was like 17, 18 pounds, and I still wish that I had more support on the hip belt, especially with the frameless pack.
Yeah.
I pretty much always like the hip belt. I don't know about you. Have you ever went on a backpacking trip where you went without the hip belt?
Yes.
And what did you think?
Well, I was using that Mile
Okay, well, a
backpack.
different trip.
I did. Yeah, I used to I had a ULA. Gosh, which one was it? Maybe it was the CDT or something. No, maybe it wasn't. It was a frameless ULA that I had, and it didn't have a hip belt. And honestly, I hated it.
Hmm.
I like the hip belt. I'm a big fan of hip belts.
Well, if you had to guess percentage wise, if we done a poll of how many people backpack with the hip belt versus without, what percentage would you say go without?
90 to 95 go with. So I'd say 5 to 10% go without.
I was going to say 2%.
You gonna say two? You going
So
that far with it?
yeah, because I mean, think about just just think about the trips you've been on where you've ran into other backpackers. Okay. Well, we may have a bias because, I mean, I don't spend a lot of time on through hiking trails, and maybe it's better or it's more common rather for people to be doing ultralight, and so they're without the hip belt. But yeah, I would say 2% because think about all the people that you met on trail. You know, do you ever like gear watch them? Kind of like
Oh
people
yeah,
watching at the mall, but you know, you're like
100%.
checking out all their gear and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was actually at the gorge hiking with some buddies, and I ran up on a guy who I've been following on Instagram, like because he just has really cool pictures when he goes backpacking, and he happened to follow my channel on YouTube, and we just kind of saw each other and like, "Hey, you're," and he's like, "Yeah, and you're," and then basically I just stared down his gear and I had him explain everything he had because
Dude,
that's
how
that's what I
fun
am.
how fun is it going on trips with gear nerds?
Oh, dude, yeah, it wears out the people that aren't though.
I know, dude.
It
They're
wears them
like,
out.
"Oh my god, do y'all ever stop?"
Yeah. Well, the one of the best is Hunter. Hunter's trip.
Yeah,
Um, I love going on. I've gone on a couple trips with him, and I love it because he knows every new fabric, every new company coming out, and talks about them. It's awesome.
yeah, Andy wears sandals, dude. I gotta say, I would be
Yeah.
willing to like those minimalist sandals. I think they make an okay camp shoe. You know, if they're really light, because if I'm wanting to take camp shoes, if it's cold out, I usually don't take them. But, you know, if I know that my feet are going to get wet and I want to air them out or something like that, or I'm going to spend a lot of time at camp and I just want to be comfortable, I'll take my Crocs. And dude, where I wear size 15, my Crocs are
Big
like
Crocs.
each one's like 10 or 11 ounces.
Ooh.
So yeah, you're adding, you know, nearly 2 pounds just in camp shoes if you do those. So I like whenever I did the long trail, I went to Walmart and bought some of those 99-cent flip flops. But the problem with those is they just randomly break on you. And then you're like, oh, well, the only thing I can do here, you know what I'm talking about? It's just like pulls out of the bottom of the shoe.
Yeah,
The
I know what you're talking about exactly. Doc Watson actually is talking. He's got some Zero sandals. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I seen them. Those are the minimalist ones, right? They're like super, super thin sole, and it's like a string that
Well, they're supposed no, well, not necessarily. Not all the Zero sandals are like. You need to check them out. Theirs are actually pretty for what they are. They're pretty robust. I mean, they'll stay together pretty well. Some people
okay.
use them to hike in quite often.
Zero sandals. I would be willing to check those out.
Yeah, yeah. Jeff Peters says that you wear water skis for shoes.
Oh, dude, I get that all the time.
Oh man. So okay, Jeremiah, we are at the 45-minute mark right now.
Yeah, you want to talk about the poll from last week about the,
I do. I
or do you
do.
want to save it, the poop talk for the end?
Well, I say we go ahead and bring it up because I have something else I want to ask you about, and it's not on our list of things we were going to talk about. I'm just going to throw it in there because I'm like that.
All right. Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
but here's the poll that we had from last week. We asked everybody, with good weather, would you rather poop in a privy or outside when backpacking? 60% said a privy, which does not surprise me in the least bit. How about you, Jeremiah?
Well, dude, I've been contemplating this all week. It's all I could think about
Really?
ever since we shut down the live stream last Monday night. You know, I started to go watch Monday Night Football, and I said, "Nay,
Mm-mm.
I'm not going to watch football. I'm going to think about would I rather poop outside or in a privy." So this is I've just been mulling this over. And you know, I'm not surprised 60% of people would say the privy because you can actually sit down on the toilet. So I'm wondering, first of all, if there's a toilet, I seen this a long, long time ago. You ever heard of Penn, Gillette, and Teller, the
Yeah, yeah,
magicians?
yeah,
One's big and one's silent.
yeah.
Okay. Well, they had this show and they talked about how you couldn't like contract anything from a public restroom from sitting on the toilet. I remember watching this as a teenager and I was like, great. As long as the seat has been cleaned off and there's no bodily fluids on it, then you're not going to contract anything by sitting on it. So then for the rest of my life, I just made sure that the toilet seat was clean and I can just sit on it. But I know there's some hoverers out there. And I think those hoverers are invading us and they're swaying the pole in the 40% favor because they would rather hover out in nature than they would sitting on a perfectly comfortable, sometimes cold toilet seat. But I got a little hack for you, John. If
Yes.
you don't want to sit on a cold toilet seat, you leave your pants on and you sit on that toilet seat for like 60 seconds. Then you pull your pants down and sit on the nice warm seat that you heated up through your pants. And you didn't get that shock factor, you know, of sitting down on the cold seat.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. As long as you wipe down the seat beforehand.
Yeah, dude. Can you imagine? Can you imagine
That's
sitting on a toilet seat that had pee on it?
I
And then
mean,
you
it's one
stand
thing if you sit on it with your bare butt, that's easy to clean off, but once it's in your clothes, it's not coming out the rest of the trip, dude.
but
It's
which one's
there.
worse?
Good luck.
Which one's worse? Tell us in the comments. Sitting with bare butt on the pee seat or sitting.
Knowing all it takes is a wet wipe to clean that off and the smell will not be with you the rest of the time.
Well, hold on though,
Or
dude. It's
sitting on
getting
it with clothing, it getting into the clothing, and that scent ain't going away.
yeah, but is it getting skin on skin contact? If you have a ring of pee on your pants whenever you get up to sit down after warming the seat.
It eventually gets to your skin, I think. I think you're really screwed if it gets on your clothes. That's just my opinion.
Well, yeah, definitely if you're going commando, but if you're wearing undies, I think you're probably fairly safe. I don't know.
I
Depends
don't
on
know. I don't
how
know, man.
hydrated the person before you was, I guess.
I think that's a good call, Jeremiah. I think it's a good
Public
call. It's gonna be
service
interesting to
announcement.
see, right?
Say no to hovering.
Say no to
Public
hovering.
service. That's my t-shirt. Say no to hovering. Hovers with a
Will you
mark.
say that again? That's what?
how many shirts have I said? That's why I'm wearing a dress right now.
No, no, no,
How
no,
many
no, no. You've
shirts have
never
I said?
said that's my shirt before. That has not ever come out of your mouth. I think not only now have you promised merch, but specific merch.
A shirt that says "Stop
I
hovering."
mean, comment below and tell me if you heard it like I heard it, because I heard Jeremiah promising specific merch.
Oh, I don't even know what I said now. I'll have to go back and watch the replay so that I can
It's
make it into
recorded.
a t-shirt.
It's recorded.
Yeah.
So So
What's the
Jeremiah, we
comment?
are we are now at the end for at least for the live streams. We're at the end of 2023.
Yeah.
And so Jeremiah, I'm going to kind of throw one on you. I would like to know a New Year's resolution for you in 2024.
Is this backpacking related? Or is this
Sure.
any New Year's resolution whatsoever?
It can be either or both.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna definitely have to go with I'm probably gonna go with a fitness goal here. Is that too cliche?
No, it's not cliche at all.
Well, I don't know. I was just suggesting one of my buddies, to apply at a gym because I was like, dude, you can, even if they don't have any positions available, you can be like, dude, it's January. I know you all are going to be busy. Everybody's doing their New Year's resolutions. You're going to need some extra help, get give me some part-time hours. So I'm gonna have to go with fitness. It's on the brain. I want to say at least bare minimum 30 minutes of exercise 4 days a week. But I I have this like little chart on my computer at work, and it's got like 5 things. One of them's 30 minutes of movement a day. One of them's like 1 hour of sunlight a day. One of them's like not being isolated. Make sure you're talking to people. Blah blah. It's like my 5 keys to, a happy, fulfilling life. So I think the fitness. I think I'm gonna get on that bus.
I like that. I like that. Mine is kind of backpacking related.
Oh, all right. Let's hear it.
I want to lower my base weight by about 70 pounds.
Mm,
So this year, at this point in the year, I have lowered my base weight by 54 pounds this
very
year.
impressive.
So I've lost 54 pounds this year. And so next year the goal is, because I'm way more aggressive with it right now than I was the first half of this year.
Mhm.
Since the second week of October, I've lost 40 pounds. So
Insane.
my goal that by this time next year, I'm down another 70.
Another 70.
Yes.
Well, we're all cheering you on, man.
Because here's the
Lofty
thing, dude.
goals.
I may have lost 50 pounds, but I'm still a fatso. It's not like I'm skinny all of a sudden, There's a certain point where you get so big that losing a lot of weight still ain't losing enough weight. So definitely gonna be dropping hopefully another 70 for this summer or for this next year. I'd like to be under 200 by the time summer rolls around.
Yeah.
I'd really like, my knees and back would love that. And I really haven't talked a lot about it, but I had an injury this year that was basically weight related, with my foot, where I had slid sideways with my foot, and because of the weight of my body, it almost broke my foot. And
Mm.
so I was off the trail for a couple months because of it. So I think the fact that I was injured and I lost 2 months out of the year where I couldn't even hike
Mm.
was finally the last slap in the face that said, get on it, because this is ridiculous.
You feel like with that injury, if you had been 100 pounds lighter, you feel like you wouldn't have put so much stress on it, and it would have been
No.
just a normal like ankle roll or something?
Well, I mean, you think about it, man. If I was the weight I should be, that would have been 103 less pounds. I mean, that's a huge amount of weight to not put on something. So
Dude, I'll
I'm
tell you.
I'm pretty heavily convinced that I might have like twisted something a little bit, but it wouldn't have been the same kind of injury, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to be
Dude,
all serious. Wearing this hat. Let me switch hats real quick so I can be more serious.
I like the Star Wars,
Okay,
Little Yoda hat.
there we go.
Oh, okay. Is that
I
leopard or
feel way more
cheetah?
serious now, so I'm ready. So,
I don't know the difference. I'm gonna go with cheetah. He's got a Santa hat with a cheetah brim.
well,
I
I'm
love
I'm I'm going with cheetah intensity on this. So
it.
I got to wear the cheetah
Santa's
hat.
fastest. Santa's fastest helper, dude. You look great.
Yeah, yeah. So, anyways, but like I said, that's my goal for this year. So it is backpacking related. Like a lot of the reason I want to lose weight is because of backpacking. Because I like hiking, and I like not being out of breath just going up a very short hill. And when I hike with some of you guys, I'm like, you guys just go. I will catch up. I will get there. I promise. I got a little more weight that I'm carrying, so I'll be there. It'll be nice to look at you guys and be one of the lightest guys out there and just take off up the
Dude,
hill,
I'll tell
I
you
just think it'd be
this.
really cool because I turn 50 next week, and I think it'd be really cool in my 50s to be in better shape than I was in my late 20s.
Absolutely, dude.
I just think
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
And I went on a similar journey to what you're talking about and kind of going through. And I used to have to go to the doctor and have them to work on my back. I had like chronic lower back pain and lower back fatigue and my knees. And then after I lost the weight and like started working out, getting a little bit more muscle, that pain just like totally just goes away. It's incredible, dude.
Well, I mean, just losing what I've lost, my knees, I don't have near the pain that I was having before. And it is nice that I'm actually able to wear my clothes and not look like a swollen blueberry when I'm walking around. That's kind of
Well,
nice.
the more in shape you are, the better your clothes fit. It doesn't matter, like the better they look on a person, I think, because that's they don't design them,
Oh
for
yeah.
every shape. They just don't fit right.
No, I feel you
I
on
remember
that.
that the first fat guy move is stretching the belly of the shirt.
Pull it
Every
down
morning
as
I
far as you
put on a
can. Yep.
shirt. Yep, you're stretching it out and you're stretching it down.
Yep. And
Yep.
then what does it do? It shrinks up, but it stays out. So it looks like this giant Bell T-shirt, and it's like the dumbest looking thing in the world. But we all do it. Like heavy guys, we do it. Been doing
Yeah.
it for years. I do want to make mention of the shirt that I'm wearing, though.
Oh, Joe Wilderness.
Yeah, it's
Shout out
it's
to
my
Joe.
Joe Wilderness Christmas shirt that he gave me a few years ago. I wear it every year, and I only wear it at Christmas time. But Christmas time. So just want to give a shout out to my buddy. He's actually getting ready to go down to South America and climb another mountain. So
What
or else he's
what's
there now. I can't remember.
is he doing, Peru?
Yeah, he's doing he's trying to do the big seven.
What
The seven peaks is what it's called, I think, and it's the highest mountain in each of the seven continents.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
he's getting
what
ready to climb one down in South America. Either he's on it right now or he's getting ready to, I think. But he's
how many
like no joke, dude. This one he's going on now is intense.
how many of those do you think you can get of the 7? You think you
Well,
get
I've already
3?
been told by my wife I'm not allowed to do Everest, so I'm not even going to try.
No, I'm saying if I ask you to guess, how
Oh,
many of
there's a
those do
lot
you
of people
think?
that get all seven.
No, I'm saying the name of them. Like
Oh, I don't
in
know.
North America,
It'd be
what do you think
Denali,
on
right?
I don't know, we're gonna have to look them up, but
I think
let's just guess real quick.
I
Let's
think
see how
North
many we
America's Denali. You got
okay,
Everest
Denali.
in Asia.
Okay, that's 2. Um,
Um,
Kilimanjaro,
Kilimanjaro's in Africa. Yeah.
is that the highest peak in Africa?
Or is Everest considered?
What mountain range is Everest part of?
It's part of the Alps, I believe, but they go through. I think it's in Nepal. I think it's in Nepal. So Nepal's Asia, right? So yeah, that'd be Asia,
Okay, so we're going with Everest for Asia. We're going for Kilimanjaro as South America.
Africa.
I mean Africa. What about South America?
Oh, what is the name of that? It's got a really weird name. I'm actually gonna
Everybody's
look it up
going to
just
do
because
it.
I can't remember what it is, and it won't count.
Okay, and then there's no way I'm going to get Antarctica. I mean, who knows? And then you got Australia, right?
Yeah, and then you got Australia. Let me see. It's a 7 summits, and they are okay. It's Everest.
Okay,
The one in South America is Aconcagua.
okay, and that's where he's headed.
Yes. Kilimanjaro, Vinson, which is in Antarctica.
Okay,
Um, it is. I can't even see what the thing says. Then there's Elbrus, which is in Europe,
yeah, we didn't
and
even get
Mount
as far.
Wilhelm, which is in Papua New Guinea. So
So Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro is Kilimanjaro is the tallest freestanding mountain. Everest is the tallest mountain.
Hmm.
And Aconcagua was one of the is pretty crazy rough. Um, the elevation on 6,961 meters,
It sounds to me like we need
which is
to
taller than Kilimanjaro.
sounds like we need to revisit our geography class. And I took like college level geography as like one of my classes at WKU.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know nothing about geography. We just studied like weather patterns. So that's that public education for you.
Yeah.
Can't even name the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But either way, man, it's gonna be fun like this next year. I'm really excited about doing some things. One of the big ones that my buddy wants to do with me this next year is we want to do a rim to rim at the Grand Canyon. And so losing that weight's gonna be huge for that trip.
not to put the horse or the buggy before the horse, but it's always important to have a goal after you reach your goal. So let's say, just forethought, you get to do the rim to rim. What's next? What keeps you going? What keeps you fit? What?
Oh, the next
Yeah.
year is hopefully gonna be the John Muir Trail.
Okay. All right.
And
I
that's
like.
but that's not by myself. That's if it works out the way we're hoping, it's gonna be me and Carlson and that hiking guy and potentially all things outdoors, Mr. Jeremy.
Yeah,
There's a
that'd be
potential that we may do that together. Hopefully. It may not work out, but we're hoping it will.
yeah. If you can get all those people in, dude, what a trip that would be. But don't you have to
Killer
get
group.
permits for it? Can you
Yeah.
have a group that size? I mean, I know
I
they
mean,
had it in
4.
the movie.
Usually 4 is about as big as you can get it. So,
Okay. All right. You got any
yeah.
more comments that we need to talk about before we wrap this up?
I'll say a big thank you for all of the birthday comments. That was real at that, and then a lot of people were saying some really nice things about losing weight. I appreciate it. I didn't really talk about it much until like a week or two ago for a reason because I've talked about losing weight in the past and then not followed through, and so I don't want to be the boy who cried wolf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, of course.
I kind of held back from saying anything till it was a pretty significant amount of weight, so that I felt like it was time to say something. A lot of people said they wear zero shoes, zero sandals.
I looked them up, by the way, and they go up to size 14. So zero shoes, holler at your boy, get a foot model like me that wears size 15. I will come in. You can design the shoe around my foot, no problem. You just shoot me a text.
Yeah, I mean, I would if I was them. I mean, come on.
You know what I'm saying, man? If I
Show
were
me
any
another podcast host that's wearing a dress right now at Christmas time.
loyalty to the fans, just not too much loyalty, or there would already be merch. Hypocritical loyalty. That's what we'll call it.
Absolutely. You know, Jeremiah, I think you and I should plan a trip,
I think it's a great idea,
and
man.
and I think we need to plan a pretty intense one that would be awesome. And I think your wife
Easy,
would want to go.
easy on the intensity.
Like not super intense, but something I think your wife would even go on.
All right. Yeah, you think
We could do a
maybe
summer trip, like a summer trip.
yeah,
I,
base
I,
camp?
I'm
If we can
thinking.
drag
I'm
your wife
thinking.
out there too?
My wife ain't gonna let me do base camp.
Okay, okay.
She's if it says she watched the trailer for that movie Everest, and ever since then she's like, "There's no Everest in your life. Don't even think about it." So no, I was gonna say Machu Picchu, man.
Machu Picchu. Yeah, that sounds insane.
I'm just throwing it out there as a potential. Like maybe we should like save up some cash and do a backpacking podcast documentary of a trip to South America.
Yeah, let's get Darwin to film it, produce it. He can follow us around with the camera.
That'd be
Come on,
great.
Darwin.
Be our camera guy.
Produce our movie. What's the name of his company? His
Evol-
film company?
Evolved,
Darwin Evolved?
some kind of evolved thing. It's always evolved.
Evolution?
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
always
know.
evolving.
Maybe we'd have more credibility if we actually knew the name of his company.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably
Darwin
right.
off the rails.
Yeah, where's Derwin? He's not here tonight.
No, I was talking to him earlier today.
Highly
He's not on
disappointed.
here. I don't know.
Here's a good question too. Maybe
Uh,
this, and we've talked about this before, but how about a backpacking podcast meetup trip?
Yeah, I mean, we said I think it's the second weekend of October. We're doing
Yeah.
another Red River Gorge meetup. I'm not in charge of that. I don't think John is either. I think Nicole hikes a lot. You know, if you need anything, you can talk to her.
But you
I don't
know,
know.
if we really wanted to, we could probably figure out a way to do a live episode of the podcast.
Live studio audience.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
I think it'd be fun. I just don't know if any of our audience is close to this region.
It could be fun. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. I don't know. I think it could be fun. We'll have to figure it out. I mean, we've got about a year,
And we got all the time in the world.
so.
We have multiple years if we want. Just look at me. I'm wearing a dress.
But unfortunately, Jeremiah, this is the end of this year for the live streams.
Yes, but please check out the amazing content that we produce. And it may not be live, but it is quality.
It is quality. It's from the heart. And we actually talk about things and stay on target for the most part.
Yeah, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
That's right. That's right. So for myself and Jeremiah, thank you guys for an awesome 2023. We will see you again on the next live stream in 2024.
Yes. Adios. And I'm sorry.